Good evening, people. Welcome to Gygsaw. This is episode 4, and this is about Ukraine's missing billions. So, you might have seen my tweets earlier today on how the gold market is falling and how India has been a few steps ahead, so to speak. And it might surprise you, but it is actually linked to Ukraine's missing billions. It might surprise you, but it is actually linked to Ukraine's missing billions. Why, what, where, how, who, those are the things which we will explore in this episode. So, to start with, objectives uh, exploit and control resources, keep US away from resources, make US pay for NATO and EU security. Basically, their welfare schemes and all those things. Get gas from Qatar via Syria because they want to leave the Russian energy grid, be it power or gas or oil or whatever. Point number 5 will be to undercut US dollar and make euro the reserve currency, while their sole competitor will be China. And the last one will be, obviously, to isolate Russia. So, I'm not going to dig very deep into the past, just going to take a year. So, this is all going to be in Indian context. Uh, on 8th July 2024, Indian PM visits Moscow. 23rd August, PM visits Kiev. 2024 October 30, Indian Central Bank, the Reserve Bank of India, brings first tranche of gold from UK gold vault, Fort Knox. First repatriation since 1991, infamous 1991. We all know what happened. And 5th November is US presidential election. So the way we brought it in is actually, if you can see the timelines, uh, we had roughly about 2 months to get the vault set up and all the mechanisms set in place, and to actually bring the gold, physical gold from UK. If you look at the timing, it's just before elections in US. 20 November 2024, Indian PM meets UK PM in Rio de Janeiro during along G20 meet. 20 November 2024, India relaunches FTA negotiations with UK. Wow, rings a bell? So, let me explain. By 2024 August, we were actually telling UK that if you want a FTA, open your vaults, give our gold back. And we may have got at least 50% back. And I'm not sure, as of recording, I'm not sure whether we got it fully, but we got at least 50% as of today. Now, the thing is, for the FTA to be even announced on 23rd November, that is 3 days after the meet, or even to agree to the FTA meeting or to even meet UK PM, gold vault had to be opened and gold had to come. It's quite big, so to speak. Fast forward 29 January 2025, 9 days after inauguration, gold stockpiling starts, and it leads to shortage of gold in London Gold Exchange. Boom. Few days later, Zelensky says he has no idea where the most of 200 billion in US aid went. Wow. Same day, he says the US has provided Ukraine with financial support a little over 75 billion. That's it? Okay. And where is the missing 100 billion? Nobody knows. And President Trump says Ukraine received 350 billion in aid from the US. Media report says US banks are flying gold from London to New York. Obviously, Zelensky says Europeans used to be skeptical than Americans, but something's changed. That's like yesterday. So now let's dig into the numbers. So let's see how much was funded by who and per who. Per Trump, Russia had frozen assets of $300 billion. US spent $350 billion. EU maybe around 150 billion dollars. Per CSIS, US spent $177 billion. US, I mean, that's almost half of what uh, Trump is saying right now. Russia has frozen assets, as we all know, it's like $300 billion. Here about, I mean, near about $300 billion. And EU is like, we spent around $150 billion. Okay. So there is a mismatch there in the US numbers. And why I took CSIS numbers? Because that's headed by Victoria Newland, and she was involved in Ukraine since the protest which overthrew an elected government in Ukraine. And per Ukraine, they they are not even considering Russia's amount as frozen because that's not in their hands. And what they are saying is, 100 billion is missing. US gave us 77 billion. EU, he never opened mouth on what EU gave him. This rings a lot of questions. Let's see what the questions are. How much Ukraine was given since 2014? That is since the overthrow, or even for overthrowing the democratic government, uh, which brought Zelensky to power. Forget about the war. I mean, war is just a small part. But where and who gave all those amount? How much was it? So how much of that amount went to Zelensky? So how much did Zelensky get? So is there missing billions? If so, who siphoned it off? France. Why France? We'll come to that later. Where is the money now? Who did the one who stole the money try to buy from the gold market, open market, but failed? Why did they fail? Because China, India started buying gold, stockpiling it in their vaults from open market. So the leverage is gone. London is totally not credible as on date. And the last point is, did France try to mine gold? Okay, smuggle gold from Africa. Did Russia checkmate them at Burkina Faso, Chad, Ivory Coast, and other countries? All the colonies of France which had their military presence, which had been depositing their foreign exchange, 50% of their foreign exchange in France's banks, who had all their gold deposited in France's vaults, gone. Overnight, gone. All those money probably went to UK as leverage, and since that is gone, that is deemed gone, London is stuck. So there is a game out there. I mean, experts can tell you more on that. I'm leaving that as an and there are a lot of people who have started to think on these lines, and you will hear a lot from my end. I can give you the links so far. So next, okay, assuming there is a peace deal today, what will happen and where are countries? So first of all, Russia will ask for 300 billion frozen assets. They will want NATO to be out of Ukraine for good, forever. They want the old pipelines and all. I mean, to be reactivated, and all those things will come. But then, on the financial part, they will ask for the 300 billion missing. I mean, the frozen assets. And here is the deal: Europe cannot give it back because they have already spent it. US, according to Trump, they have given $350 billion to its Ukraine war efforts so far. So he would want mining resources to be back, to be given to US. According to President Trump, $350 billion were given towards Ukraine war, and he wants a guaranteed return of 500 billion in way of rare earth minerals in Ukraine. He gives a damn whether you accept the deal or not. He's going to, any is going to sign it with Putin. So Ukraine, I mean, it's your call whether to give the resources to Trump or not. Now, India has two things to play actually. First time since 1991, we have repatriated gold reserve of 200 tons from Bank of England. Now, if Bank of England fails to give the rest, then we can actually play on the credibility factor, and we can get the London capital market shifted to, say, Gift City, maybe. That's on one side. And on the other hand, China. See, India and China both knew the problem, but they arrived at different solutions. Uh, India fundamentals are strong with all its uh, problems. We still are strong, and we are not dependent on outside market for many things, and we have a strong domestic consumption as well. So that ways we are safe, but that's not the case for China. They are heavily dependent on EU, and they are dependent on foreign exchange from uh, many countries in Europe. So anything happens in Europe, it affects China, and the problem actually couples with the clash between Europe and um, China, who both of them want to be the euro and the yuan want to be reserve currency against US dollar. Both want to unseat the US dollar. But with US, Trump, I don't think that is possible, at least for the next 4 years. And by then, uh, the anti-China hawks of US government, I don't think they'll let China last a peaceful life for the next 4 years. They can shelve these dreams for at least 4 years. Ukraine. Uh, Blinken once said that US will give 50 billion to Ukraine from frozen Russian assets. Now think, out of the 300 billion, they already gave 50 billion. This was confirmed by Zelensky. So Europe does not have, or rather, US does not have entire 300 billion on its hand. When I say US, it is actually NATO. NATO does not have 300 billions on hand, and if the peace deal requires Russia to get its $300 billion back, there is a $50 billion shortage there. That's point number one. Point number two, EU gave in total $150 billion. US gave $350 billion. Of over and above all this amount, $50 billion was given to Ukraine from Russian frozen assets. So that makes it 350 plus 50, 400, 400 plus 150, 550. So $550 billion. Okay. Now think. What did Zelensky say? I received only $77 billion. What did CSIS say? We gave only $177 billion. Where is 550 then? Where is $177 billion? How much did EU pay? Think. Probably EU never paid. It is just the US. And the if you remember, there were news reports of some $1 million or $1 billion being transferred to Ukraine by mistake. Nobody asked it back. If you transfer in a normal world, if you by mistake transfer even to your family members, you would ask for it. Here, they didn't ask. Okay, so now UK. After Brexit, UK struggled to keep its economy running, and it's suffering due to collateral damage from Russia-Ukraine war. So, couple this with a few more things, like what is the current government doing about it? Of course, Keir Starmer does not like Trump. That's his call, and neither Trump is bothered, neither we are bothered in India. But think, if the peace deal happens with Russia and US directly signing that agreement, Ukraine is gone. Now, where will Europe get its resources from? Be it anything, rare earth, even gas, power, electricity, coal. Where are they going to get that from? US is not. If you are going to do a Cold War with them, I'm not sure if Trump is going to make it affordable for you to buy. So that's one side. And if that is the case for EU, UK is even more worse. So I'll leave it at that for now. And both for EU and for UK especially, if US is going to pull out its military from EU and UK, think what next would happen. Already there are chatter about Europe having a closer strategic partnership with China, just to tease, say, Trump and the US administration. Go for it. Go for it, because the route that you're going to take, the physical route, you're going to depend on two big mistakes of yours: Turkey and Azerbaijan. That's the first mistake. Second, Kazakhstan. Because if you're trying to bring Chinese partnership via land, this is the route. Okay, so you tried it when the Ukraine was started. It failed. Now, the way things are going, if you're going to activate Turkey, and if France gives weapons to Turkey, then Greece is going to offend you, and then NATO is going to go for a toss. And if no, there are even rumblings of NATO going for a toss, take it from me, NATO is going to break up because neither Hungary is happy, Italy, no, Poland is not going to spend a penny, and if we're going to go and ask Austria and other countries for more money, good luck with that. In this entire thing, imagine what UK will do if UK pulls out, if US pulls out. US will go and sit in either Gaza or they will go and sit in Greenland. But what will UK do? Question mark. Along with EU, France is also caught in a catch-22 situation. So, to put it this way, claims made by EU, Ukraine, and the US, are actually disputing each other. The numbers basically 100 million, 100 billion, 177 billion, 100 billion missing, 300 billion, 350 billion. All these numbers don't add up. So, at some point, France is panicking, and they were supposed to get some gold from Africa, and there was a coup in Africa, and Wagner went and settled in those territories. So gold is not coming to France anymore. So if UK has, if London has depended on France's capability to bring gold, that's not happening. London markets are about to fall. Now, EU. EU wanted to have an European army and want to distance itself from NATO. Okay, US. The thing is, good luck with that. Because without US, they won't be able to fund an army. And if you look at it, they have said like they want around 3 trillion over a period of 10 years. What will they do with $3 trillion budget over a period of 10 years? Who are their enemies exactly? What are they going to buy? Nobody knows. For example, let's talk what they gave Ukraine. Okay, so let's take a small part. Europe gave 150 billion according to EU officials. Of this 150 billion, Zelensky says he got only $77 billion. Okay, so there is a huge difference there, 50% difference there. Now, assuming that $77 billion is used, what did Zelensky buy for $77 billion? Europe gave tanks, ammo, equipment, night vision goggles, helmets, small weapons, medium weapons, artillery guns, you name it, mines, all for free. I'm not saying it, that's what is there in news. If it's for free, then there should not be a penny charged to Ukraine. But did Ukraine give any money to Europe? See, there is no air force involved because Ukraine has no air force, no navy as on date. Even if they had one, they're not able to fly. No fly zone. So they didn't buy expensive aircrafts. Have you observed two things? This entire Ukraine war, they were talking about drone warfare. So they had lots and lots of drones, and they publicized it saying it is good for two reasons. One, it is very cheap. We can get a $100 drone, $150 drone, $500 drone to destroy a tank, right? And if it is just 500 Dollars are drone. How many drones destroyed? How much? How many tanks? US, I mean, Russia has about 3,000 tanks. Even if you spend 3,000, even if you destroy 3,000 tanks, 500 each, assume, how much is that? You definitely didn't destroy an S-300 or something. Chalo, मान लो, I mean, let's see, I mean, like, even if you destroy 10 S-300s, another $5,000. Okay. So, how much was that? Okay. So, what about the rest? What did you do? Salaries. Okay. We give you another 1 million a month. So, for uh, so many years, I mean, like, what, 3 years now? 36. You spend another, uh, I mean, 1 billion. Okay. So, 1 billion a month. $30 billion. Okay. $36 billion, sorry. $36 billion. Then what about the rest? Where did the money go? Even the economics is not working, including logistics. Okay, another $5 billion. How much was that? There is no there is no calculation that sits with the number that is spent. Okay. Moving on. The noise. Ukraine wants another $250 billion if US is not spending. And where does this $250 billion come from? The frozen assets. Because he knows that $50 billion he already got, Zelensky got, and he wants the remaining $250 billion as well. And European army needs around 300 billion a year, per year. This rings a bell. Every amount is around $300 billion. Okay, just focus on this number. Trump says US paid $350 billion as war and reconstruction efforts. Zelensky's case, only $75, 75 billion received as aid. Trump wants 500 billion worth of rare earth minerals. This is 150 billion extra. Why 150? Because this 350 plus what Europe spent 150 and that's 500. Okay, so these things are, I mean, I'm just connecting dots. These are like the numbers does not change a bit. And uh, I mean, this, I mean, like we discussed, like Blinken said, I mean, he has already given 50 billion to Ukraine. Now the question is, where is the rest that US gave? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Now this is the reason why London and Paris are panicking. Okay, so now what to expect next? So some unfiltered, unseen probabilities. So this could happen, could not happen, we're not sure. So what will be the status of London as a financial capital? Should Gift City replace London as financial capital? Question 3. Will going along with China be suicidal for Europe? Nobody knows. And if they're taking the Arctic way, I mean, good luck with that. Russia is around there. And further, Greenland will also be more militarized than before. And the 51st state, Canada, and its Governor General will not be in sync with Europe because of tariffs by US. And at this rate, should US exit NATO? And next would be Greece opposes France to give weapons to Turkey. Hungary opposes the European hegemony. And if Poland refuses the additional taxes by Europe for European army, will they be part of it thereafter? Who will do what? Nobody knows. So at this point, it is safe to say that we can expect NATO to break. Is it new? No. Seattle had broken on a similar fashion. That reminds me, in Vietnam War, it was actually the French which went into war with Vietnamese, and they invoked Seattle to drag US into it. And Europe was foolishly fighting while French pulled out. Only the peace talks happened in Paris. You see how US was being misused for so long. I pity them, man. Okay, and sixth question is, with US out of continental Europe and UK, it all makes sense for US to be part of to be asking for Greenland and Canada. What are your thoughts? Let me know. And what next? To start with, investigate Ukraine funding, London gold stocks. Whoever wants to investigate, do it. It's not just for US, for all countries. You should start investigating and question London's credibility. Second, for US, secure Zelensky, his wife, generals, and European Union officials, and if possible, the top creamy layer, bring them and secure them. The next one is to investigate the role of people like Lindsey Graham, Newland, Obama, Clinton, Biden's, all those uh, group. Uh, Watch out for Qatar and radicalization, because the entire gameplay of buying gas from Qatar has gone in the air. So that is one of the reasons why Qatar, Emir of Qatar, is arriving in Delhi. I mean, this week, I think tomorrow, the day after. The timing of this visit is very important, and the announcement of the visit is also quite important. It was announced just a day or two before, and that too when US uh, and that too when Modi had visited Trump, and they had a discussion, and the famous press conference. Yeah. So yeah. So US should also try to evaluate their relationship with EU at all levels, from strategic partnership to intelligence sharing to being in Five Eyes. Everything should be evaluated, because EU is literally trying to undercut US in all fronts, right from US dollar to security, and also paying for the security setup. Investigate all threats that try to undermine nations and their election processes. And when I say this, it is all the non government setups, USAID, mm, or any such organization, USAA, all those organizations which were uh, part of US but then try to undermine US from being within. Uh, so those things need to be investigated for US. Bolster US security in Greenland and Gaza. See, US coming to Gaza is, I'm not sure how you people look at it, but then it is actually for their own good. Uh, in the coming months, we will see some kind of crisis in Cyprus, and after France ditched Greece to give weapons to Turkey, Greece is definitely not happy. And when US is kicked out of Europe, or kicked out as an either by force or by itself when it is out of Europe, they will have to have a base in that region. And Gaza is an ideal situation. Likewise, Greenland. So those things should be watched. By the way, what is the US aid counterpart in Europe? Guess. Reply in comments. And last one, arrest globalists like Soros, Clinton's, Obama's, Biden's. It's actually overdue. They should have been behind bars for long now, but then they're still not. So try to get them. So that's it, guys. I mean, hope you will have a rethink and you will try to do your own analysis. These are my observations. You do yours. Reply. So let's see where this heads. The mood question is, where is the billions that were missing? So that is what we should ask. Slava Ukraine's missing billions. Bye.